As I continue building my business, I know I'll start getting to 10k months and higher. How the ever-loving crispy fart do you know that? From selling crappy sales courses, where there's new competition every day, where you're training the new competition? That's insane. The banner screams Canva. Video modules, templates, checklists, and more. Checklists? Wow, it must be worth $387. Hello lovely people, my name is Emma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Today's video solely exists because I got rankled by an Instagram account. I know, that's what social media is, that's why I don't use Twitter anymore. But listen, I had very carefully curated my Instagram. All I get, apart from my friends, which I recognise is the point, is the Muppets, Nanalan, and cute animal videos. And I'm very content with that. So imagine my dismay when a leave your 9 to 5, buy my $500 digital marketing course account snuck in to my feed via a cute animal video. A stolen cute animal video. Hello lovely people, editing Emma here. That was a lie. Well, it wasn't a lie, but that was wrong. We joke a lot here about me being a grandma. I've just learned that remixing is a thing. So every time I mention this person stealing content, reposting content without a contract, that's bollocks. Don't listen to past Emma, she's totally wrong. I'm gonna leave the copyright discussion in this video. The wording in the person's descriptions is a great example of people who do steal content, but the actual account that I feature in this video does not. They don't. They just remix it. I do see people stealing content and using this kind of description that you'll see in this video all the time, which is, I guess, why I didn't look too hard at it and learn about remixing, which I now know is a thing. So people steal content, but not this person. So I'm using them as an example wrongly. Enjoy the video. Now, I'm not going to name this creator specifically. I'm going to use them as an example of a greater problem because, good lord, social media is very oversaturated with this kind of account. I mean, the second you heard some of those words, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen them. It'll be someone completely different, but they'll have said the exact same fucking thing because they're everywhere. So I'm not going to use their real name because they're quite a small account, which is a good thing because it means at least this one isn't that successful, which is also indicative of how fucking oversaturated this market is. So this is someone whose account is all about escaping the corporate life, right? They repost funny videos with captions about the boss and hating your 9 to 5. You know it, you've seen it a million times before. It's hardly original. Ditching corporate for digital marketing. Helping burnt out 9 to 5ers create income from home. Using cats to make fun of corporate life. Don't fucking use cats that way. You leave cats out of your schemes. Learn how to be your own boss. Free guide below. Blah, blah, blah. So a particular video came up for me as a cat looking tired, and it's like when you're a corporate worker and you're burned out but you still have to show up. Let me throw this out there to start, right? I am what these gurus are or claim to be. I built a side hustle, which is this, while I was doing my 9 to 5. It was 9 to 6 actually, but damn if I didn't do some unpaid overtime. I got out of my 9 to 5 and started content producing and digital marketing and blah blah blah. And I'm here to tell you that I am not qualified to sell you a course on how to do it. And if I, as a successful corporate escapee, depending on your definition of success, then these fuckers are definitely not. If you know about marketing and you want to start up your own business, the first thing you do is check out your competition. So I, for example, if I want to live this side hustle, whatever life, I might go to the Instagram search and type in escape the 9 to 5. Escape the 9 to 5, money, motivation and more. Founder of the Escape the 9 to 5. Mom on a mission to escape the 9 to 5. Escape the 9 to 5. Escape the 9 to 5 grind. Help people to escape the 9 to 5. Escape the 9 to 5. Escape the 9 to 5 life. That is a very specific search, and it still came up with a bajillion, decillion, million, trillion accounts, and maybe hyperbole, doing exactly the same thing. So I've established that this is a massively oversaturated market that I'm trying to break into. If for some reason I then decide to continue doing that, my step 2 is not going to be teaching people to become my competition. Unless how I'm actually planning to make money is through selling courses, which is what these all are. So immediately, from a legitimate business entrepreneurial perspective, what they're touting, what they're claiming to be, helping other people get out of the 9 to 5, it doesn't make sense from a business perspective, so immediately you should be wary of that, right? These are like my red flags. This is such a great example of all of the become an entrepreneur today, like online course. This is like a list of my red flags, right? This account is just one big red flag. So that's already super suspicious. Either they don't really know what they're doing and they don't know anything about market saturation and they don't understand that training their competition is a bad thing, which makes them too naive and completely uneducated on the topic to be able to teach about it well, or they're misleading you and they're actually just making money off of selling you courses. I think most of these people, it's the latter. A lot of them, I think, are genuinely naive, or this is so rampant that they've seen other people do it and think, that was successful, I will just do the same thing as them. Which is great from a consumer perspective, because we've got so many shitty choices to rifle through. And the ones that do actually give you genuinely helpful, practical advice are buried amongst the million fucking pretenders who are just out to make quick cash. I'm so rankled immediately. Okay, so this video that I saw, it was like it's a cat and it's like, when you're burned out, corporate worker, you're still showing up, you're dying on the inside. Haha, it's a cute cat. And then I was like, it's a weirdly kind of like specific caption, but all right. So I clicked on the description, which I shall read to you now. If you are feeling this, you're in the right place. Heart. I started my online business 9 months ago. 1 gestation period ago. This is another red flag, right? If someone had absolutely zero knowledge on a subject, didn't even know that they could do it 9 months ago, and now they're selling courses, don't buy those courses. I started my online business 9 months ago learning how to advertise products online so I could eventually quit my corporate gig. It's called digital marketing, and it's nothing new. I just didn't know regular ordinary people could do this too. I knew absolutely nothing less than a year ago. Let me train you in how to do it. Like, what? There is no reason. If you look at any of these things from an actual consumer perspective, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you read that and then do this person's course? Why would you not go and do a course by somebody who is more qualified and experienced? Because those absolutely exist. And that information is also available in many places for free. I started doing this 2 to 3 hours a day on top of my 9 to 5, hoping to make an extra couple thousand a month. I was just hoping to make an extra couple of $1,000 a month. Okay, I mean, go off if you are able to do that, but that's kind of fucking high hopes for a side hustle that you're dropping a few hours on, right? Jesus. On average, I'm currently making $1,500 to $2,500 per month in digital and affiliate marketing sales. She started doing this 9 months ago, hoping to make an extra couple of thousand. And she's just about kind of doing that now if we believe her income claims. Income claims on these posts are also a huge red flag. Some days I only have 30 minutes to do this. Other days I spend 5 or 6 hours working on it. I make it work based on my schedule. On top of the 9 to 5, remember. And whatever else you have going on in your life. Again, I genuinely did this. I made YouTube videos regularly. I was regularly outputting like weekly YouTube videos while doing a 9 to 6 job, and it came close to destroying me, and that was a big part of why I left my 9 to 5. It can be done, but let's not pretend it's some sort of like easy thing. If you're making like $2,000 in a month, you're not spending 30 minutes a day on it. You're spending significantly more. As I continue building my business, I know I'll start getting to 10k months and higher. How the ever-loving crispy fuck do you know that? I can't imagine ever making that much money. $10,000 in a month? I know I'll be making $10,000 a month. How the fuck do you know that? From selling crappy sales courses that 1 million people have already made and better where there's new competition every day, where you're training the new competition? That's insane. What an insane claim. I know, that's either not true or they're completely deluded. I know I'll be making $10,000 a month. The twisted American dream is, actually destroying brains. Brain cells are fleeing at the speed of light. One of the key factors in understanding the relentless swarm of small business gurus and online money-making schemes is understanding the financial situation of the average person today. What's helped me is staying up to date with the use of reliable sources. I've been using today's sponsor, Ground News, for a while. Lately, I've been creating my own custom feed in the For You section. I do that by following interests that I am passionate about so that it populates stories that matter to me. I've added US economy, US politics, and a couple of fun ones as well. I like offbeat for the random stories that you would never hear unless you follow local news, etc. So that's how I came across this story. Lawmakers and advocates make last-ditch push to extend affordable internet subsidy. Before we dive into the article, Ground News is an app and a website developed by a former NASA engineer, with apologies once again to the flurfers, on a mission to give readers an easy, data-driven, objective way to read the news. It gathers news articles from more than 50,000 sources around the world, all in one place so you can compare how different outlets cover the same story. Back to the article that interested me, I was pleased to learn of an affordable internet subsidy in the US, and then dismayed to learn that it's in the news because it's ending. This is a hot news story, so there are more than 10 articles here for us to look at. How do I choose which story to read? Well, Ground News gives me their political bias based on ratings from 3 independent news monitoring organisations. Good news, I have several high factuality sources here to choose from. Likewise, I can see the bias distribution is weighted pretty centre, so I'm going to dive into this WCAX article to learn more. So I can see this is a story by the Associated Press. 23 million families in the US will have bigger internet bills starting in May, because a federal broadband subsidy program is nearly out of money. Dozens of people joined Biden administration officials, advocates, and US Senator Peter Welch, a Democrat from Vermont, at a Washington Public Library on Tuesday to make a last-ditch plea to extend the Affordable Connectivity Program, a subsidy created by Congress and touted by President Joe Biden as part of his push to bring internet access to every US household. They need access to high-speed internet just like they need access to electricity, Senator Welch told the gathering. This is what's required in a modern economy. I was pretty startled to learn a while ago how much homework and schoolwork kids are required to use, apps and websites to submit now. Back in my day, we wrote our homework on a piece of paper and brought it into the school. The point being that internet access is necessary now for education, amongst other things. Nearly 80% of households enrolled in the program said they would have to switch to a lower tier plan or cancel their internet service altogether without the benefit. Here it confirms what I just mentioned. Many have come to depend on internet access to complete homework assignments, work from home, and meet other basic needs. This is not about can we find the money, Senator Welch said. It's about are we committed to the priority and well-being of really wonderful people who are struggling. So for the sake of 23 million families, we can only hope there's a chance of extending or renewing this subsidy program. We also have better insight into just one of the reasons why people are desperately seeking extra income opportunities. If we go back to Ground News now that we have more information from a factual source, we can take a little look at how the left and right frame the same story. On the left here, both literally and politically, we have PBS NewsHour. On the right, we have Odyssey. I'm always kind of pleased when I compare headlines from different sides on Ground News, and I see this, that actually they're pretty similar across the political spectrum. Aside from the language, PBS has chosen to use scramble, which is a little bit more desperate sounding. They're pretty similar. Now, this story itself is a blind spot, which means it's disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. You can see how little right coverage there is here. We have all this centre coverage and then left coverage. To see more blind spots that we may be missing, I can check out my blind spot feed and expand my news brain. Using Ground News, I can avoid the pesky algorithms that are delivering me news from the same sources and see what people with different political views to me are consuming. That means more constructive dialogue, as well as a refreshing challenge to my own assumptions and biases. Go to ground.news/Emma Thorne to check it out. Having the Vantage subscription has given me the tools I need to become a better, smarter news consumer. If you subscribe through my link, you get 40% off the Vantage subscription for unlimited access to all the best features, like the blind spot feed. That is about $5 a month. When you subscribe, you're not just supporting me, you're also supporting an independent platform that is trying to make the news more transparent. Thank you so much for listening. Do please check out my link for that discount. Back to the business. Back to the business of business. If you want to know how to start, grab my free beginner's guide at the top of my profile. DM me with any questions. I will always respond to you personally. Credit to this account for this adorable video. Disclaimer, we do not claim any ownership of this video. All rights are reserved and belong to their respective owners. No copyright infringement intended. Please DM us directly for credit/removal. What the sweet Sally Ann are you talking about? That's not how copyright works. It drives me crazy. I see this on social media all the time, where like an account will take somebody's webcomic or artwork or something without any watermarks and just be like, in brackets, we don't own this. All credit to the owner. Let me know if you're the owner. Because I am who I am, and sometimes I fail in my journey to become a better person who does not get into arguments on social media, I commented on this post. I said, stealing videos to sell your dodgy programs, crying emoji. Because nothing is a betrayal like using a cute cat video for your nefarious ends. The owner of the... what the fuck is it called? Profile. The brain cells, I'm telling you, they're gone. They've left. The owner of the profile liked my comment and responded to it, which I thought them liking it was really weird. I apologise. No malicious intent was intended. I will message the owner of this video and ask if he'd like me to take it down. Regarding the course I promote, it's purely education on how to start an online business. My goal is to help educate people like me who are tired of climbing the corporate ladder that there are other options. There are a lot of shady people selling courses though, so I can understand why you're skeptical. Yeah, there are. There are a million of them, selling exactly the same information as you. So why are you doing it? You know, here's the thing. That is probably true. They probably don't mean any harm. They might even genuinely want to help people. I think probably they mostly want to get out of their own corporate hell and make money to do so, make enough money to do so. I think that's probably their main aim. And that's fine, but I wish that people would be honest about it. But here's my harsh opinion, right? If they are that naive about good marketing practices, business ethics, copyright legality, if they're that naive about those things, they should not be selling a course about digital marketing and how to start your own business. They have no fucking business doing that. We'll talk about the reasons that these courses are bad for consumers as we go, aside from the ones we've already discussed. So this is just to say ahead of time, like, if they genuinely didn't realise that this wasn't an amazing scheme to help people that is like reasonably priced and ethically marketed, they have no business selling it. They have no business running a business at all. They are way too fucking naive to be running a business. The alternative to the naivety is that they know what they're doing isn't great, and they're ignoring that out of a selfish desire for money or success. Probably, most likely, it's a combination of the two. It's not up to me to decide what their intentions are, but basically either way, in my opinion, they should not be running this business. They should not be selling a how to run a business if they don't know anything about running a business. I found their response a little bit disingenuous and annoying. Again, it is that, like, it is so naive that I kind of don't fully believe them, what they're saying. So I said, sure. That's why you spuriously say you know you'll have months where you earn 10k. 'Cause come on. Fact is, if it worked, you wouldn't sell shite courses. You'd just do it, and that would earn you money. You message away, as in DM the creator if you want, but it means nothing if you keep pretending you can steal first and ask questions later. Imagine if I downloaded all the materials from your course and resold them on my own website saying, "No theft intended, DM me for removal," while I profited from it. I know it's dodgy for a fact because you're literally marketing your scheme using theft. It's pathetic. Okay, I get spicy when I'm annoyed on social media. I'm sorry. Copyright is a bit complicated and annoying. It's also frequently abused by giant corporations. This is kind of an issue from little guy to giant. I'll try and explain how this works as a creator to share that with you. There's the old familiar fair use, right? A blessed bastion of free speech that allows us to comment on and review other people's work, creating something new in the process. That's kind of the primary factor in determining if something is fair use. Really, it should be a small amount of the original thing used to illustrate a point or provide context for your new thing that you're making. For example, somebody reacting to my videos to share their opinion on them will find it much easier to do that if they use my original videos for context. That's fair use, baby. Reposting an entire piece of content is very different. The way this works in news and other bigger online sources, for example, something like Unilads or the Dodo, the staff there will search out stories that interest them and then reach out to the original content owner, where they will request permission to share it. A good company will usually compensate the person monetarily because they're about to profit from somebody else's work. They don't always do that. The original poster will then read and sign an agreement, basically saying, yes, this company has the right to use it, edit it, and distribute it. I agree that they are not liable for copyright theft. I can't sue them. I have allowed them to use this footage. I'll show you the Dodo's submission agreement. This is the Dodo's terms of submission, right? And this is pretty standard for anything like this. It's a big agreement where you say, yes, you may use my content. You're also allowed not to use my content. I reserve the rights to the original content, but I cannot sue you for stealing it because I've allowed you to have it. I'll leave that in the description if you're interested in seeing what those terms are all about. This is better for the content owners and the businesses. The content owners obviously don't want their stuff stolen, so it's better that you get their permission and then come to an arrangement and have it all in writing. Much better for everyone involved. But it means that the reposter, the company or organisation reposting, gets to request access to the original footage at the highest resolution, any additional footage that they have. Most importantly, they're safe from copyright law, and as an added bonus, the business doesn't look unethical or incompetent by just stealing content to make money from. There's also stuff like stock footage, which is like if I want a specific piece of footage and it's not something that fair use might cover, or I just think it would be a funny moment or help illustrate a point, I'll use stock footage. This applies to video, image, sound effects, music. Typically this requires payment to use, for example, Adobe Stock. I use Envato Elements. A lot of the time it's obvious when I do this. For example, that is not my baby. That is somebody else's baby. I paid for access to that baby. Sometimes I record a bit of Foley myself, but most of the time I'm too lazy and I'm not a good audio engineer. So pretty much any sound effect you hear in my videos, chances are it's some stock audio that I have paid for access to. I have a download library full of nonsense, like belly slaps, farts, toilets flushing, you name it, I got it. All that means is that I pay a company who pays individuals or other companies to submit their media for licensed usage. There are specific terms in different licenses that I have to follow when I use it because that's somebody else's work that they deserve compensation for. Not all heroes wear capes. Some flush toilets. There are also people, blessed lovely people, who publish media under a free license, typically called royalty-free or copyright-free. They might require a credit, they might only be available for non-commercial use. Some of them request donations, a lot of them are just free. That is why you hear the same 10 songs over and over on YouTube. Those ones are free to use. If I hear that fucking ukulele tune one more time. So that brings us back round to accounts that take other people's footage without requesting permission, without signing any agreements, without getting any licenses up front. And by this I mean they're straight up taking a whole piece of original content and reposting it. No fair use argument could be made. They are doing a big naughty. And there are ethical alternatives to it. Granted, it'll either be a pain in the arse or it'll cost money, but that's because you're not supposed to be able to profit from stolen materials. It's a good thing. There's another crazy alternative as well, which is make your own content. Even if you wanted to, say, make cute animal videos to sell, this Instagram that Rankled Me is doing. If you wanted cute animal videos to sell something to draw attention to your brand, you could get a pretty affordable stock footage license, download a bunch of cute animal footage from that, pair it with some facts or funny captions, like, I don't know, as long as your license allows, you can do that. Editing Emma again, so as mentioned earlier, another example of a way to use somebody else's content legally and fairly is to use inbuilt tools like remixing on Instagram. Essentially, the contract is kind of built in when you upload your videos or reels or whatever, and you tick the allow for remixing. That's the copyright protection, legal agreements, etc. that you sign, which I know about now. This made me laugh so much. This is this person's bio link page. It's not a bio link, but it's one of those. It's not one I've heard of. It's called Stan. And the top one, the brackets, yes, this is the one you want. The best digital marketing 101 course available. The best. $497 Learn digital marketing skills for any business in any industry. Wow, this person must be a genius. Digital product and faceless content creation course. $387 to learn how to steal content and repost it. Not only that, but they don't have very many followers. Like, the reason I'm not sharing their name is because they don't have that many followers. Simply Passive digital product course. We love that. Passive income. That's another one of our red flag phrases. Digital marketing and social media and content creation course. Comes with master resell rights. And then if you need extra support, for only $77, you get 1 hour of her time. I presume her time, unless she's outsourcing those as well. The button just says buy now. I'm hoping I can find more information. Okay, here we go. The banner screams Canva. If you know, you know. You can use Canva to make nice things. You can upload your own designs to it. I've used it for stuff, but that screams like pre-made Canva template. Anyway, maybe you are just getting started in your... I can't read. Maybe you are just getting started on your journey with digital marketing and you have zero experience, like I did 9 months ago. Or maybe you've started a digital marketing business, but you are feeling stuck, are not seeing success, aren't sure how to show up on social media, or don't know where to start when it comes to creating your own digital product. Maybe you are doing well, but you are ready to take it to the next level. Wherever you are in your journey, this course was created just for you. That's an oxymoron. This is for everyone. It's just for you. They're always as vague as fucking possible as well, to lure in as many people as they can. It's like, I left my job to do digital marketing. Okay, so part of it was affiliate marketing. She said that. But otherwise, it's just like, all I can see is that she sells courses on how to do marketing. Simply Passive has 45 plus video modules, templates, checklists, and more. Checklists? Wow, it must be worth $387. Very deep modules on niche to help you find exactly who you're talking to and what your audience needs to hear. That is so fucking funny from somebody who launched into a massively oversaturated market and has barely any followers. Like, come on, bro. Learn how to create faceless content, brackets, B-roll, that builds trust and converts to sales? That's not what... B-roll doesn't mean... faceless content. Every new thing I read reinforces... Oh my god, it mentions Canva. I fucking knew it. Sorry. Every bit I read reinforces that they don't know what they're doing to me. Like, honestly. So B-roll is a film term, which is my background. B-roll just means like alternative or background footage. You use it as cutaways. If I'm filming something out and about and I'm just pointing my camera at a scene... MCM's a great example, or if I'm just getting some nice scenic views or something, that's me capturing some B-roll to supplement a video. Easy on-ramp for beginners. Great practical strategies for those who are stuck. Heavy focus on social media strategies and content creation. Again, why would we trust this person? Like, maybe her TikTok is massive. I don't know, but just reading this from Instagram, I'm like, why would I trust you to teach me how to do social media? Including caption writing, hooks, trending audio, and more. Yeah, that must be a TikTok reference. Step-by-step Canva module, I fucking knew it, teaches you how to create your own digital product. I don't know why she's also used square brackets instead of normal brackets. That annoys me. Create your own digital product, including templates. So is this for people to design their own t-shirts using Canva templates and then sell them online? Like, this is just so... Learn how to brand yourself, including aesthetics. Time management. Again, I don't trust this because I saw this and went, that's a Canva background. That's a Canva template. I didn't go, wow, this person actually has some design skills. I went, they're using Canva. And they're probably not subscribed to it because that costs money and they don't like paying for footage. Mastering your mindset. Red flag, and daily tips you can apply that will change everything. Just vague, spurious promises that make me so mad because it's essentially emotive language that appeals to people who do feel really stuck and are desperate for a way out of a job that they hate. It's just taking advantage of people. Email marketing using Flowdesk, including templates. You don't have to make anything yourself. You just pay me $400 and I'll give you a couple of templates you could use. You will be lucky to make back the money that you spend on the course. I'm just going to put that out there. Entire module dedicated to automation. Learn how to batch content and save time. Quick start module that allows you to set up the course for resell within minutes. This is the core of so much online marketing courses, schemes, scams. It's teaching people to sell the course on how to teach people to sell the course on how to teach people to sell the course on how to teach people to sell the course. It's fucked up. It is not giving anything new to consumers. It's just saturating a market that probably shouldn't really exist anyway. It's already a shitty market, and it's just deeply oversaturating it. Bonus, it comes with master resale rights, which means you can resell the course for 100% profit. Why would you do that? You as a business owner are then losing out. You're literally creating your own competition and giving them the materials for free. It's fucking crazy, man. It's actually crazy. And that's all the information. That little bit there is all the information. The bottom is just like, give me your credit card details. Fuck that. It just makes me so cross. And like I said, it might be that she actually doesn't realize it's bad. She might genuinely not realize that what she's doing is wrong. She might even somehow, she might just not understand market saturation and think that this is a good thing that everyone should do. Again, if that is true, she still shouldn't be doing it. Because clearly she doesn't fucking understand enough to be teaching people about it. Let's have a look at our free beginner's guide real quick. This is a quick introduction to digital and affiliate marketing based on my experiences. It's a picture of her and her family on the beach, because there's always a picture of the person on the beach. You remember the Mickelson twins when it was all pictures of them on like hammocks and stuff? If you're like me, you're feeling pretty skeptical right now. And you're asking yourself, is this legit? I remember being in your shoes and my first thought was, this is just another pyramid scheme that's going to ask me to pay a fortune and I'll get nothing in return. I was wrong. This is not a get-rich-quick scam. I took a leap of faith, blah blah blah. See you on the flip side, heart. Like, it doesn't have to be a scam to be bad. The reason that I call these things schemes, marketing schemes, is because it's only a scam if you don't get what you paid for. They're advertising some vague online course that says this, this, and this about digital marketing. You do genuinely get that, so it's not a scam. But it is fucking dodgy. It is overpriced, virtually worthless garbage. And the fact is, she says it there on that page where you can get her free thing, right? She signed up for this from somebody else. So why would you get it from her when you can go back to the source? Or anyone that she's trained that is now selling the source. She gives no reason for you to buy this course from her. What you could do is go on YouTube or just look on Google for digital marketing tips for business advice and get them for free, or a reasonable price, or go to your local college, or all of these options that are just so much fucking better. What you could do, you could buy any number of business starting books or online PDFs, guides for a reasonable price. If you're in the process of starting a small business, especially if you're in the USA, I recommend Savvy Business Owner. I'm biased, obviously, because Savvy is my friend, but it is a genuinely really useful guide to starting a business with actual really practical advice. I found it super useful, but if you're in the US, it will be even more so because it gives you all of the legitimate options on how to start a business. It's not motivational hoo-hoo. It's specific, rational, practical advice. Tells you how to register your LLC, all of this stuff that is just real and useful in the scope of a small book that you can buy on Kindle for £3.13. And I would bet anything, again I'm biased, but I would bet anything you would learn more from Savvy Business Owner for £3.13 than you would for unnamed Instagram influencer's $500 digital marketing course. And I've just saved you almost $500. You're welcome. It just rubs me so much the wrong way that there are so many of these and they're so unapologetic. It really does, it kind of beggars belief, right? Because I kind of look at businesses and stuff like that. And I do think part of this is the whole American dream thing, the ultra capitalism that we live in right now, the way that corporate life does like destroy people and people are desperate to get out of their jobs. I think that is to blame for this online entrepreneur, kind of entrepreneur in general thing that just provides nothing for society. Because when I look at starting something up, I started a YouTube channel because I thought it'd be fun and because I watched other YouTubers and I thought that was cool. And so I just did it and I talked about stuff that I liked and I wanted to provide information on things and entertainment. I wanted to provide something. This whole rush of like digital marketing experts and generic motivational coaches and blah, 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 they don't come from the perspective of what can I provide to a consumer? What is the niche in the market? Even if you want to start your own business, okay, you should be looking for something that, you know, a solution to a problem that exists. These are just purely, I am going to do exactly what other people have done because they say it made them money and I want to make money. It provides nothing new into the world. This person literally said, I got this from somebody else and it worked and I'm selling it, buy it from me. Why would anyone do that? It's just like the self-publishing thing where you pay a ghostwriter in India peanuts to write a book for you so you can publish it just for making money. You're not actually writing a book to write a book, to put something new into the world. You're generating cliches into something you can sell for profit. That's exactly what this is. And it disturbs me. That's not what business should be about. I guess it fucking is, but it sucks. Leaving my evil corporate job to start my own evil corporation. Like, what's the fucking point? Are you making the world better doing this? No, you're not. There is a slight chance that there will be one or two things in here that are useful and unique. There might be quite a lot in here that's useful, but it's, as we've discussed, been posted a million times in a million different places, often for free, other people charging different amounts, plenty of people charging less. So again, why would you buy from this person? It's digital waste. It's just rehashing existing things. So there is only a small chance that there will be something in here that is actually unique and helpful. You don't want to be paying $400-500 for access to a smidgen of useful information. Here's the real thing. Like I mentioned earlier, if this worked, if their digital marketing techniques all worked successfully, they would not be teaching people how to become their competition, they would just be doing it. If they did genuinely want to help, they would release their small bit of unique, helpful information for free. They wouldn't be selling $500 courses because we don't need it. This is the top of the, like, digital junkyard. I clicked on a couple of videos just to see, and they have the same kind of like, I mean, look at that caption. It's so fucking long. That's why I show up every day. Leave your 9 to 5. Blah, blah, blah. I thought it was so funny because this video only has one comment, and it says, "That bunny is hilarious. Take my like. Not because I agree with what it said, but because of the cute bunny." Like, this is clearly not an effective marketing strategy. Why would anyone pay this person for advice? This crazy influx of online courses made me think, I should get on that. Why am I not selling a course? So I am. Now, I'm not going to have anything new to say on content creation, video production, anything like that hasn't already been said better by someone else somewhere else. I need to follow my own rules. I need to find a niche that I am expert in to be able to provide a quality service to people who are interested. That is why for $1 you can buy the Emma Thorne Guide to Being a Silly Little Guy, answering all your most important questions about how to be a silly little guy. Who can be a silly little guy? Is it natural? Does it spring up within you from birth? Or is it something that can be learned? Buy my course today to find out. If you did enjoy this video, consider leaving a little like, or a big like, or an average sized like, or a silly little like. I don't fucking care. Do what you want. Leave a cheeky comment down below. Like I say, don't go and spread any hate to anyone, but feel free to have reasonable discussions down below, especially if you disagree with me on anything, if I've missed the mark in your opinion, if you think that these are more useful courses than I'm thinking. I'd love to hear why. If you quit your 9 to 5 by selling a digital marketing course and you think that this is the most amazing successful thing in the world, you can let me know. Do consider subscribing to this channel if you hadn't already. Don't miss out on other videos, future videos, past videos, present videos. If you'd like to support this channel and what I do here, you can become a channel member. You get comment priority and some silly little emotes and a little duck next to your name, which is really cute and makes you stand out as an adorable and cool person. The best way to support this channel is via the Patreon, and with that, I must give a big old shout out and a thank you to my giant chickens and colossal quackers over on Patreon. Especially Conla. God damn it, Conla. most importantly, have yourselves a very lovely week, and I will see you really soon.